This is Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination and Fortune Telling, the Magi Method. You can find the book worldwide on Kindle and on Amazon in both Kindle and paperback versions. You can find the full color card deck used here on Etsy/Magi Method. You can join us on Facebook. There's been some drama at the White House. Apparently, Omarosa, who worked for Donald Trump, has been physically dragged and escorted off of the White House grounds after being fired by John Kelly, the White House Chief of Staff and a general. This is Omarosa. Apparently, this would be the fourth time, if she was fired, this would be the fourth time Omarosa has been fired by Donald Trump, okay, or in the employment of Donald Trump. Omarosa is known as a firebrand, and she became very popular on the series Apprentice, and 3 times, so they kept bringing her back because, the audience loved her. She created a lot of drama. So if she was fired, this would be the 4th time she's been fired. So I think I want to do let's do a Celtic cross to find out if Omarosa was fired, or as they say, or if she just simply resigned, because she went on the next day. Apparently the word is, she was dragged out of the White House. And she was very vulgar, and she was cursing, and she tried to get into Trump's residence to demand audience with him immediately, when they were trying to fire her. And it was quite, vulgar and violent and very unladylike. So let's just throw a Celtic cross and get a little bit of information about, was she fired? Or, is this more like a resignation as she is stating? She's stating that she was there for a year and that was her goal. And she had been, thinking of leaving. And let's see what we have here. And also, her job in the White House was to bring out the black vote, bring out the African American vote for Trump, for the Republicans, and the day before, Roy Moore was not elected, in Alabama. That's kind of one of these interim elections, on an off cycle, and that happens, so if that's Omarosa's job, then she failed. That's an epic fail because the black vote came out in force to elect the Democrat. I think as a vote against Roy Moore, more than a vote for, the Democratic candidate. I don't even know the Democratic candidate's name. Of course, I'm not in Alabama. So, anyway. So the question is, was Omarosa fired? Or was this just a resignation? And it's just one person. Actually, there's a very telling tweet. A White House official tweeted, "People have long been unsure what Omarosa did at the White House, what value she brought. Many of her colleagues are elated." So that's, wow. Somebody really didn't like Omarosa. And that's kind of the point of Omarosa. That's why she was on The Apprentice, because she, was a firebrand. And still is, I'm sure. And so, So here we have handcuffs. That's a job. 2 clubs is a great job card. Job. Crossing that is 4 spades. Ending. The card that most reflects that is this card number 7. Okay, so yeah, ending of the job, 2 2s. Okay, so that could be firing. Strength, let's see. Yeah, firing is probably going to be, I'm going to want to see some more spades. We'll just kind of see here. Okay, the basis, strength. This is planting, rooting. Okay, so loss of job and rooting. Finger of God. Okay, it is said that the White House Chief of Staff, and that's John Kelly, who is a general. General John Kelly just had enough of her. Apparently, Omarosa demanded, she asked to be wedded, to have her marriage in the Rose Garden. This was a no. Okay, you're not allowed to do it. The last people who did this were, you apparently have to be a blood relative of the sitting president for that to happen. She's not a blood relative, so the last person that did that was like the daughter of Nixon, had a wedding in the Rose Garden. Even so, she went and did her wedding party photos at the White House, which brought some ire and frowns. Okay, so we have Finger of God. Somebody reached down and changed everything for her. Okay, so that suggests firing. Hamster wheel, this is a great work card. You go to work, you do the same stuff in the same place every day. Fox is a great work card. So ending of the job. Finger of God suggests firing. Let's see what the rest of the cards say. Apparently, wow. Okay. In the outcome, we got the devil. Okay, we got the devil in the outcome. Okay, so we want to know, was Omarosa fired? And the devil in the outcome, yes. Omarosa was fired. Okay, the devil is malicious. The devil has a bad reputation. They were really upset at Omarosa, which is not surprising because Omarosa is known for being very controversial and creating a lot of drama, and that's why the viewers love her, and that's why she kept coming back to all of the apprentices with Trump, because she creates so much drama. So she created so much drama that they fired her. Another thing, apparently Omarosa was fighting with the head of the Congressional Black Caucus. Another thing is that Omarosa was, her office was in a separate building from the White House. So, some of the influential black people, who speak on the media, they're saying that she was just in the White House in name only. And some people are saying, she made it difficult for some of the other advocates for, black people. She made it very difficult for their voice to be heard. Okay, so I think she made some real enemies here. That devil is indicating she made some real enemies here. The ruler here is probably Trump. The fox, okay, in readings about Trump, this fox shows up as Trump because Trump has red hair. Harry also shows up as the fox. So we might have to look at that as Trump. And these two cards can both indicate Trump. And so this can literally say Trump was tired of her. Trump had enough of her. Trump fired her. Okay, and the chief of staff is not going to just... Of course, he has the authority to do his job, and he can fire anybody he wants. He's the chief of staff. He's the top guy right below Trump. So basically, he's Joseph in Egypt. I don't know if you know the story of Joseph. My name is Joseph Magi, so I love the story of Joseph. He is my favorite biblical character. Joseph was the most powerful man on planet Earth, and he was a Magi. Joseph in Egypt was the most powerful man on planet Earth during his life, and he was a Magi. So I love the story of Joseph, and my name is Joseph. Anyway, so here we have, okay, so let's read this line. We have Diamond Ring, Mother Earth, Ruler, and Devil. So ending with the Devil, she was fired. She made a lot of enemies. She was fired. This ruler is, it could be the Chief of Staff, John Kelly, or it could be Trump. I think it's more likely Trump. But there's two. This is also maybe likely Trump. So we're going to have to look at that a little closer. Mother Earth. Okay, people and events. Mother Earth. Mother Earth. Mother Earth is, you know, this is a child card. This is a pregnant mother. That's what's pictured here. This is a mother and her womb. And I put a little tree over it, you know, Mother Earth. So this was, the environment was essentially good, and she was like the devil in the environment. It's interesting. These cards are not terrible, okay? These cards are not terrible. Okay, so let's recap that. Let's just recap and figure out what we've got going on. Okay, so the report is that Omarosa, who was 3 times fired by Trump on The Apprentice, a TV show, okay, and then appointed by him to work in the White House, was physically dragged and escorted off of the White House grounds after being fired by John Kelly. John Kelly is a general, and he's the Chief of Staff. This is a better picture of Omarosa. Very beautiful woman. It doesn't hurt to be attractive if you're going to be on television. Okay, so what happened? Okay, this is the job, handcuffs, coffin, end of the job. Okay, it's over. These cards are not terrible. Okay, these cards are not terrible. And we have Mother Earth over here. Okay, so in general, I'm going to say that it was not a bad situation for Omarosa. Everyone understood that Omarosa is Omarosa, and Omarosa had a job to do, and this is not her first government job. She made $180,000 a year. I worked in federal government. I know what the federal government's like, and I know what it's like to deal with those people. It's not easy, and there are Omarosas running around who create a lot of drama, both male and female. So strength here in the basis. This was a good, solid position. They weren't looking at firing her, okay? They weren't looking at firing her. Something happened, okay? It popped off, man. It just popped off all of a sudden, and bing, bang, boom. There's a lot of curse words being thrown around, and Omarosa's fired. Okay, so that's what happened. So, I think I think the situation was fairly solid, and it was a good situation and fairly solid for Omarosa. I don't think she intended to quit. Some people are saying, you know, she intended to quit, and she said that. She said, you know, I did 1 year, I was thinking of quitting. I don't think that's true. I think that she was happy in her job, and they were mostly happy with her. But all of a sudden, it just popped off, and it got really nasty really fast. She tried to get into, you know, she's cursing, and she's trying to get in to see Trump, and there's Secret Service in the way, and she's very vulgar, and, you know, tempers got flared. But in general, this doesn't look terrible. It just doesn't look terrible. It just looks like it popped off all of a sudden, and it's by Omarosa. This is the fourth time is the charm for firing Omarosa. So anyway, Omarosa was physically dragged and escorted off the White House grounds after being fired. So to summarize, Omarosa was not unhappy in her job. Omarosa was not thinking about resigning. It just kind of happened all of a sudden, and it just popped off, and it got really bad really fast, and they just decided that she couldn't work there anymore, and they canceled her badge, and that's it. So Omarosa was fired, but it's not, you know, because she wasn't any good at her job. It's because things happen. things happen. And it just happened for Omarosa. That's how I see it. I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination and Fortune Telling, The Magi Method. You can find the book worldwide on Amazon in both Kindle and paperback versions. You can find the full color card deck on Etsy/Magi Method. You can join us on Facebook.